All right, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to show you what I had going on with Bad Grandpa. We switched back to the L26 intake. It's got the HV3 insert inside that doghouse there. Kind of shows off the big 72mm turbo a little bit more, which is always fun. I can feel the difference. Those long runners of the Australian intake definitely added some snap to the pedal driving around the street, but I think this will be good for some top end work while I'm at the racetrack. So while we're still trying to hunt to work our way down, hopefully to the 10s, I'll leave this in there and then I'll back it off and kind of go for some more street fun with the old setup. Vacuum manifold there. I made a little bracket to go on the strut brace. Everything's still pretty much the same layout. Still got the air to water intercooler just down there in the fender well, and just kind of quick mounted everything up. Tried to make it clean, but still get it going. I've got the transmission cooler and the heat exchanger for the intercooler still down there, and I've just been driving this thing to work, just trying to see where the bugs are at. Got a little issue with some sensors and the idle air control, intake temp sensor, oil pressure sensor, just kind of giving me a little headache. So I'll work through that and then try, as the temperature cools off, go to some testing tunes and try and get the launch figured out on. I'll throw the slicks on it and see if I can get down 1.7 or better 60 foots, which is what I'm going to need to not waste time on the front end of the track. But with all that said, I just wanted to show you the other project we've been working on. Got a coworker of mine, he wanted some help with getting this Camaro back up and running because it's got the old Series 3 or Series 2, excuse me, 3800, and just went through, gave it some TLC, had some issues, was leaking coolant, and the car was just in real bad shape overall. So we went through and we've been cleaning up this engine bay. You can see the intake's basically ready to go back on there. I've got the gasket. We put it on there. I sealed it down, but we took it back off to clean up the intake manifold so it looks all nice there. Got the paint. Got the neighbor cat. What's up, buddy? And cleaned off these nice cast aluminum valve covers that apparently this 96 came with, which I wasn't aware was a thing. I haven't worked on too many F-bodies, especially 3800 F-bodies. Usually LS or LT ones, I've kind of been under the hood of a few, but we threw some headers on there because you can get stainless headers from eBay for 180 bucks or so for these things, kind of similar to the front wheel drive cars where you can get the Speed Daddy ones. I'm not sure what these are knockoffs of, but they work. They hooked up real nice, and then I don't know if we'll be able to see all the way underneath it, but so under here, from the headers wide together, and then we just got a Rock Auto replacement exhaust we put on there. So it's got their standard catalytic converter all the way back to just the single muffler for now. We're not doing anything crazy performance on this thing. So you can see we've been doing a little painting too, so you're gonna see the fruits of that labor here in a second. This is what a lot of the work's been doing. So I'll show you the old nose. It's was real busted up, so we went through and cleaned this all up. Found a nice red one off a 96 Z28 that was at the yard, sanded it, cleaned up some rough spots on it, and found the rattle can paint code that we needed for this, because as you can see, previous owner did a mediocre job. Might do a little bit of styling, might do a little bit of the patriotic color scheme here like we just did. Going through cleaning up, the heater core lines are just a mess in here. It opens up a lot of space, so instead of the elbows that come off of those two and angle forward, I'm just going to use the W body style ones that go straight up and take a 90 straight back to the heater core back in the under the cowl there. And that cowl is probably the reason why I may not try to do a build of my own in an F-body, because you can't go vertical, and if you want a big supercharger like that in your engine bay, you have to do a cowl delete on one of these, which they make parts. Midwest Chassis makes a nice cowl delete kit, but you've got to basically rebuild the whole nose of your car to make that happen, and I'm not trying to do that right now. So I'm making some alternate plans because I still want to do a rear-wheel drive 3800 build. It won't have the same turbo setup this has, but it'll probably get the supercharger for now, and then Bad Grandpa will still be going for numbers, and eventually I'll build a turbo setup unique for going on one of these. But this car is almost done. I'll show you guys a little bit of the struggle it had. It had some coolant leaks here and there, so we're making sure that's all sealed back up nice, making sure the wiring is all clean. There was a lot of junk. These are all new headlight buckets. It came with the nose. We just basically pulled everything from the junkyard just to start fresh. And he's gonna go through and just make this car nicer and nicer, so he has something fun to drive. It's not gonna be a rocket ship yet. Let him get used to this. It's kind of his first somewhat sporty car. Real nice platform to build later on if he wants to do something with this engine. We can certainly add plenty of power to make this even more fun. And if he wants to go bigger later on, hey, it's an F-body. It can fit all the good things in there if we want to go that route. But for now, just got the lineup here of spare 3800 fun, and we're just going to work. So these are the fresh heater core outlets we're going to be putting in there, and I've just been kind of organizing. So got a lot of old signs from the same setup as before, plus I've got a little bit laid out. So luckily we're now able to do some projects here, and then I'll get my own stuff back in here. But hey, when you can help somebody out and have a little fun along the way, bring somebody else into the 3800 club, it's always fun. So next video should be coming out fairly quickly, but I'm not trying to bombard YouTube. It's more just when I have something to note, I'll let you guys know. Thanks.